Now, there are a lot of text editors that you can use, and Sublime Text, Atom, and Brackets are just a few of them. There are a number of them that you can check out on your own that are free, and some that you pay for. We're just going to talk about a few of them, a couple of them right now. So if you navigate over to Sublime Text, and we'll talk about that a little bit first, sublimetext.com. So sublimetext.com, this is their website. You can take a look at it. A lot of folks use Sublime Text. I use Sublime Text, and there are a number of text editors that are out there. Like I said, you can choose to use whichever one you want to use. It feels really good. It feels like it's a solid text editor, and a lot of people use it for its functionality. But it's one thing I want to point out to you about Sublime Text. Sublime Text may be downloaded and evaluated for free. However, a license must be purchased for continued use. So there currently is no enforced time limit for this evaluation period. So I don't know how long it would take before they, ask you for money, but you can download it for free. You can use it for an unspecified amount of time. What you'll see is a little pop-up window that'll come on your screen that'll ask you to purchase it. If you choose to, you can just decline. It's up to you, however you'd like to do it. But as I mentioned here, it can be downloaded and evaluated for free, but you eventually must purchase a license to continue to use it, and there is no currently enforced time limit for that evaluation period. The other text editor I want to talk about real quick is Atom. Now, Atom is also a pretty cool text editor, and a lot of the same functionalities that you might see with Sublime Text you will also see with Atom. Atom is produced by the folks at GitHub. So that's a developer website that we'll talk more about later. But Atom also itself is a pretty cool text editor. And what I'll do is I'll show you right now really quickly how to download Atom into your computer. And when you go there, it'll tell you which operating system you have, but you'll download it to your computer. Now, when you download Atom for the first time, it may be in your downloads folder or wherever your system defaulted to download the file to. Just make sure you click on that, or if you can move it to a different folder, you can certainly do that. But just make sure you click on that icon to open it up, and you can get started from there. Now, when you open up Atom for the first time, this is probably what you see. You may just see a blank screen, and you can kind of get yourself kind of acclimated to it and kind of figure out how you want to start setting up your environment within Atom. A couple things you might want to do is to click over here and go to Atom where it says Preferences. And one of the things you can do right off the bat is you may want to change the color, theme, or scheme for your text editor here. You can click on Themes, and there are a number of different themes that you can choose from. There's a dark theme. As you can see, there's a light theme that will show up, and it makes your window pane look slightly different depending upon what you want to use. I'm going to click one light over here as well. So it'll change what you're using and how the screen looks, if you will. So it all depends on which one you want to use. A lot of folks like the dark theme. It just depends on what you prefer to use. That kind of hurts your eyes a little bit. But so it's whichever one you want to use. So setting up your theme is something important to do. Another thing you want to do, as you want to do with all your text editors, a couple things. You may want to adjust the size of the font. It'll show you shortcuts, but if you want to increase the size of the font, you can increase the size of the font, or if you want to reduce the size of the font, you can do that as well under View, Increase Font Size, or Decrease Font Size. Also, toggle soft wrap could be helpful, because sometimes when you're typing long lines of code, you may want it to wrap in the screen where you can see it, so you may want to click that as well. Another thing that you want to do if you're working with HTML is go down here, and many of your text editors will have a number of different languages that you can type in, that you can work in as your environment. And since we are going to work with HTML, we'll click HTML, and that way the text editor, Atom, knows that we're working with an HTML document. And one of the cool things about text editors, again, is if you just here, and if you go and you just type in HTML, and I just hit enter, it will automatically populate with the structure we need for an HTML document. So that's it right there. You're able to start typing. You can start to add in the title for your website, if you will. You can start to add information in the body, if you will. You just want to make sure you have HTML selected, and that'll allow you to save the project as an HTML file. And you want to go ahead and make sure you determine what kind of preferences you want for your themes, if you will. There are a number of different packages that you can use with Atom. I'm not going to go through all of them, but as you begin to learn them, as we start to do more with it, you may begin to do more to customize Atom for you. But if you wanted to get started and just kind of wanted to be able to set up things, setting up your theme as well as deciding that this is an HTML document will be helpful for you. Now I'm going to teach you how to download Sublime Text. Now, if you go to sublimetext.com, you go to Sublime Text, you'll see this is the landing page or something thereabouts that you'll see. And then what you can do is you can download it. If you hit the download button, it will give you downloading for whatever type of operating system you have, whether it's OX for Mac or Windows or so forth. It'll give you that information, and then all you need to do is click download. It'll go to your downloads section, and then when you're in your downloads section, you'll be able to click on it. It's running Sublime Text, building it. And as soon as you do that, it's simple. All you have to do is just drag it into your applications folder if you're already on a Mac. Now this just simply lets me know that I already have Sublime Text downloaded onto my computer, so I don't need to do it here. I'm going to click stop. But for you, all you need to do is follow the instructions, and it is as simple as going to sublimetext.com, clicking on download, and selecting the operating system for the kind of computer you have, and just clicking that information, and it will download to your computer. Now you just need to locate where Sublime Text is, where it's downloaded onto your computer, and click on that to open it up. When you open up Sublime Text, what you're probably going to see is a blank screen. And one of the common features of text editors is the ability to customize it. So when you see this blank screen, one of the things you can do is go up here to Sublime Text and select Preferences. And you can go down to Color Scheme. And this color scheme and theme will allow you to change the look and feel of the text editor, if you will. So you click on Color Scheme, and you can select one of these other color schemes that will let you have a dark background versus a light background. It's whatever you like to choose. You can play around it, what you prefer. And this may be what you're seeing up now, but you can play around it if you like. And one of the other things you can do in terms of customization here really quickly is not only can you change the color scheme, but you can change the theme. And for this one, in order to kind of make you see what that looks like, you can go up first. Let's check out View. And View will allow you to open up a sidebar. And if you open up a sidebar, you'll see a place where you can have open files, and this is where our files will go when we are actually working on projects. And it's kind of the wrapping around the window in which you're going to be typing. If you go back up to Sublime Text and you hit Preferences again, and instead of Color Scheme you hit Theme, it'll allow you to pick and choose perhaps a different theme for the look and feel of your text editor and where you're going to be typing. So that's one of the things you can do. Another thing you want to do with the text editor and with Sublime Text is you'll want to go down here where it says Plain Text, and you want to go up and select HTML, because that's what we're going to be dealing with, and it'll let Sublime Text know that we're dealing with HTML. And one of the great things about a text editor is it has a lot of functionality in it, and actually fills in a lot of things for you before you even finish typing it. So here, because it knows that we're in an HTML document, if I start to hit HTML, it will automatically, as you see, start to notice that I'm typing an HTML document. And if I hit that and hit enter, it will populate for me the actual structure of an HTML document. And you can see right here, everything is kind of laid out for you just as we discussed. And if I went up here and I changed the theme here, it'll just look differently based on the theme you want to choose. So it's up to you how you want to make that look. In addition, not only can you change the color scheme and theme here, and I'm going to change it back to this just to make it look a little different. You can also go to Preferences, color scheme, theme, and then also font. And you can make things larger if you want to, or you can make it smaller, whatever you choose, your preferences. So those are just a few things you can play around with the text editor, and specifically with Sublime Text. Just make sure you're checking out what color schemes you want and how you want the look and feel to be yourself. Make sure that you also want to go down here and make sure you're dealing with an HTML document, because that's going to allow you to save it as an HTML document. And if you want to view the sidebar, you just go up here to View and select View for Sidebar. And that way you should be able to get started.